Each week you will have assigned discussions, and also you'll be able to access them if you click on the discussions link on the course website. You'll get straight to the discussions for the week. And basically what we're looking here is that you contribute to the discussion in a significant way. So things like providing concrete examples, describing possible consequences or implications, things that are more substantive than "I agree with you." That is not going to give you credit on the discussion. This is the rubric that I will be using to grade each week discussion. And basically what I'm looking at is that you post a minimum number of responses in each forum. So one initial message for each reply prompt, and you'll see what a reply prompt is, and then one response in each reply prompt to another student. I also am going to be looking at whether you're posting by the deadline and also whether you use the course reading. So for your initial message for each reply prompt and just one of the responses in each reply prompt, I want you to cite the readings in support of your arguments. It's also important that the citation is accurate, because if you go in and say, according to Bloom, objective that are affective in nature target the development of psychomotor skills, that is not correct. So you're not going to get credit for that. We need to make sure that you are understanding the ideas of the authors as you talk about them in the discussion forum. And the last thing is completeness. I would like for you to address all discussion prompts. There's a reason why we ask you 1, 2, 3 questions, however many number of questions in the forum. We'd like you to address all of them. Don't forget any of them. Otherwise, the more you forget, the more deduction you'll have. So this is more or less an illustration of what I just said. You're going to have 1 or 2 reply prompts each week, and they will be identified as reply number 1, reply number 2. For each reply prompt, I want you to do an initial message, and in that initial message, at least once, you don't have to go crazy trying to cite the authors in every single sentence. I don't want you to stress that way, but I do want you to incorporate what you're learning in support of the arguments you're making at least once in that initial message. Then when you reply to somebody else's initial message once, I'd like you to also reply by citing the author. You can say, hey, what you said is really compatible with the ideas of this author, and that's your citation in that blah 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 blah. Now if you choose to reply more than that in any particular reply prompt, you don't have to keep on citing sources all the time. I don't want you to stress like that. I want a minimum of citation just to see that you know how to support your claims, but you don't have to basically talk with an open book all the time. So for each reply prompt, an initial message, a response to somebody else's initial message, use citations in these, and any other additional messages that you post, you don't need to keep on citing resources.